Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early morning to LALATE. Boy, big developments over the weekend. Did you see all those developments last night? Wow. Well, this morning, there's a new shocking development. And the development is that Wall Street, in a major report, believes that the continuing resolution, the CR, the budget bill that's due December 11th, will have stimulus in it. And now there's a push underway to get stimulus in the CR by the December 11th deadline, or shut down the federal government. Lord, this is the first time that we see a deadline for stimulus since the airlines. The one before that was August, the one before that was July. But this is the first one in which the threat is very real if you ignore the deadline. Not so much the impact upon us, but the impact upon them. It's all breaking this morning. It's really big news. And this is Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning, and boy, did you crush the weekend? Time to crush the Monday. Hope the Monday doesn't crush you, which sometimes it does. The toast is toasted and the butter is buttered. I'm here, you're here, and boy, I'm so glad you joined me. If you're not subscribed, please do, because we're getting viewers money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, and not 5 days, years from now. This is CARES Act 1 money, escalated benefits, EIDL, money that's giving people thousands, tens of thousands, not just 20 cents. And much more than a $500 stimulus check to people right now in 24 hours. And this should be in your hands next. I've gotten viewers upwards of $300,000 since not this Thursday, but the Thursday before that. And this is on top of the $5 to $25 million I got viewers for EIDL. So please get this money. I'll be detailing more in this video and at the 6:30 video at the bottom of the hour. So join me on the part 2 of this early morning show. If you've not noticed, there's something going on over here. What are they doing over there? What are you doing over there? Oh, they're chatting. Chatting? Who are you chatting about? There's a super chat going on, a live instant premiere going on, because this is an instant premiere. And as a result, if you're watching when the show debuts at 6 a.m., there's a live chat going on over there. And, you know, they're talking about the Packers game from last night. Those Bears. Oh my goodness. So join them in there and chat away. And boy, exciting developments. So the instant premiere is featured every morning on Early Mornings LA as an enhanced viewing experience. And again, at the bottom of the hour at the 6:30 edition. And I'll have big continuing updates about your stimulus check in 15 to 20 minutes from now on at the 6:30 show. So don't miss that as well. With that, there's so much development this morning. I'm going to be going over the CR for stimulus, which is the new hashtag of Purple Power, and I'll be going over that CARES Act 1 grant and escalated benefits. The video after this will go over the EIDL part of it. Breaking developments, and boy, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news, as you sit here today, is that Wall Street and viewers and me and everyone's sort of blown away with this new December 11th deadline to get second stimulus in your hands. It's a whole new twist that no one thought about, and I should have predicted this a while ago. I don't know why I missed it. But this is not the first time we've seen deadlines with stimulus. The question is whether this one's going to really stick and work. The impact is that in prior deadlines, the deadline was, here's a deadline. What's the result of not doing the deadline? The result is that the person who's not getting the stimulus is impacted, but the person who doesn't give it to you, Congress, it doesn't hurt them at all. So you didn't get stimulus in July, and FPUC expired. They ignored the deadline. FPUC expired. Millions of Americans were just shocked, but expired, and they didn't care. Then we went to August, and the airlines needed money, and the airlines said, we need money. We're going to go bankrupt. They didn't care. The airlines did not go bankrupt. And now we're at another deadline. And this deadline is the continuing resolution, the CR, or the budget bill. And the budget bill has to be done every few months. It's the federal budget bill. The reason why it has to be done is that the has to be money to run the government. And guess what happens when they don't have money to run something? It shuts down. Yeah, and they don't get the money. How does it feel there, Congress? So the real shocker this time is the reports are claiming that Mitch McConnell will try to put stimulus in the CR the way he wants the stimulus to be done, and tell the Temple of Doom, you know what? Take the CR or the federal government's going to shut down. I'm not doing a CR without stimulus in it. And it's that shocking. So will it happen? Well, our article claims it will happen, and that will be the threat. And she's, and then viewers are asking me, well, how about Janet Yellen, who's coming in as Treasury Secretary, as an announcement this week? Her announcement, although she's not officially a Treasury Secretary to next year, will she put pressure on Nancy Pelosi to do the CR with stimulus? Viewers asked me last night on Purple Power Live. My position is yes, but you're never going to see it. These people do power plays all the time, and we just don't see the power play. We never saw the power play between Mitch and Steve Mnuchin, and then we heard about it, and then they're back together. It's like Real Housewives that have fights, and they just don't tell you what's going on. So Janet Yellen's likely to say to Nancy Pelosi, absolutely, take this or negotiate a little bit, but don't say no and do your highway the highway. Highway the highway. That's just not going to work anymore. So what would be the CR bill? And the viewers last night on Purple Power Live, what's the amount? What's the check? How much for the dependents? Is it taken out for child support? Don't know, don't know, don't know. I mean, we just have no details yet. But it's likely not to be the stimulus check you expect or want, because this is an emergency stimulus check. This would be an emergency stimulus provision into the CR, not a full stimulus package bill. And ironically, every time I think about that, I pause. I just want to laugh because I'm just envisioning all the stories that Nancy Pelosi is going to do, and I just want to laugh. She's going to say, you don't put stimulus in the CR. Nancy, you did that last time yourself, and you got away with it. She put stimulus in the last CR for the cows and for the farmers. That's why I make all these cow jokes. Next, she may say something like, we don't want a standalone bill. This isn't a standalone bill. This is a CR. This is a bill to fund the federal government. It's not a standalone stimulus check bill. It's a CR. We're just putting something into the CR. So I can just see, and then she's going to say, we don't want a piecemeal. No one's piecemealing. In fact, no one thinks that this should be the only stimulus check we're entitled to. This is just a stimulus check for now, darling. $1,200 is not going to skate you to go have a sip of my entire $12 ice cream. You need to give us a couple more stimulus checks after this. This is just one for now. And this may be FPUC for a few weeks, but ain't going to be the sufficient FPUC we're entitled to. And so that's likely what's going to happen. Now you're going to ask, okay, what are the deal provisions? Well, all we know is that there's a $250 a week FPUC, which is sort of like a in-your-face insult. Here's $250, take it. Take it or leave it. But it may go as high as $400. It's not going to be $600. There'll be stimulus check, not checks. What's going to happen with dependents? I presume they'll get a check. How much? Someone asked me last night, $500, $1,200. I mean, what are the choices at this point? Zero. I don't think that's going to happen. Then another round of PPP. And then things that don't cost any money. The mortgage forbearance, student loan repayment forbearance, and eviction moratorium. Oh, and then there'll also be extension of PUA and F and E and UI, which is really almost the single most important thing after a stimulus check for why this has to be done. The deadline this time, in fact, works in your behalf, because in prior deadlines, it was just like, this thing is coming up on this day and it's expiring. Done. FPUC is coming up on July 25th or whatever day it was in July, and it's expiring. Okay, it's expired. All right, we're good. Fine. So what? Expired. Big deal. Where's my $12 ice cream? I mean, that's sort of how it felt in July. This is different. You have a CR that has to get done. And if it doesn't get done, they don't get their checks. The federal government shuts down. And if you don't put UI and PUA into the CR, then where is UI and PUA going to get extended? there is no unemployment assistance for people who've been on unemployment assistance since the start of this pandemic every week since then, unless they live in lucky states like New Mexico or Hawaii that are giving them additional weeks of benefits. If they aren't in those lucky states, there is no unemployment benefits for them for January 1st. So what is someone going to say? I'll get to this thing in March, come back to me in March and come back with me for more of what I want to do and see you in March. No, I mean, that's almost inhumane. It is inhumane to say to people, go on lockdown, stay at home, curfew, or whatever those charming words they want to use. Oh, and by the way, we're not going to give you unemployment assistance at all. Just check back with us in 5 months from now and use up your life savings. I mean, wait a second. I think Janet Yellen's gonna just storm into Nancy Pelosi's room and say, "Get out of here! Just get out of here! What are you doing here?" It's just in one of the videos yesterday, I said, Janet Yellen is just gonna sort of come in and just start yelling. Janet Yellen, she's an economist. She does numbers, 4 plus 4, and she's gonna look at this and like, okay, I just want to see about the numbers. What's taking so long on this? And then there's Nancy Pelosi in court saying, Steve Mnuchin didn't agree to the grammar that I like in the third paragraph, and in the fourth paragraph, the punctuation's really wrong, and the sixth paragraph, he's using too many adverbs. Chad Yell's gonna be like, what are you talking about? And this is because this is what Nancy Pelosi literally has told news for 4 months, that until you deal with the language of the bill, we aren't crushing the virus. Excuse me? Is anyone home? What do you mean fix the language? Just get the bill out and get the numbers right and get the bill out. What are you dotting your I's and crossing your T's for the 20th century? It's just, so do I think this is going to hit? Yes. Do I think it's going to hit in a great way? Seats for stimulus is now replaced with hashtag CR for stimulus. Continuing resolution for stimulus, hashtag CR for stimulus. Purple Power, do your thing. This is the new movement of this channel. This is the new movement to get the stimulus in the CR. The stimulus needs to be in CR. It needs to start with repurposing the CARES Act 1 money, that $800 billion from CARES Act 1, and putting it into the CR. Send it out as a $5,000 stimulus check, but at best, or at worst, like I should add, at worst, you're going to say to Steve Mnuchin, Mark Meadows, Mitch McConnell, and Mitch McConnell's communications director on Twitter, who has not 50 trillion followers, enough that he's going to see every single tweet you send him, is send out stimulus in the CR and don't sign off on the CR until there's stimulus with a stimulus check, FPUC, PUI, and UI in the CR. Done. It is one of the simplest messagings we've ever done on this channel. Next, boy, with a little bit of time to go, let me get to escalate benefits and CARES Act 1 money. CARES Act 1 money, you need to get it right now. I mean, this is Monday, and I've been on this for now, a week and like 4 days. I've gotten viewers about $300,000, and you need to be on top of this. Your city, your county, and your state housing authority. I'll say it again. Your city, your county, your state housing authority, and then your utility companies. Ultimately, someone like Purple Power Live last night said, I called up one utility company. They couldn't help me. Well, you have more than one utility company, so call them all. Call all of them. If you have problems, you've made the calls, you've called City Hall, you've called County Hall, you've called State Housing Authority, and you've called all of your 3 or 4 utility companies and you can't get any progress, then at that point, reach out to the volunteers. There's no less than 8 incredible volunteers now that are available to answer your questions and help push it through to you. Go find the volunteers at youtube.com/LALATE/community. Again, youtube.com/LALATE/community. Next, escalate benefits. That is one of the things you absolutely should be getting. I don't know why there would be any weight on the subject matter, but ultimately, if you made 2019 earnings of $18,180 to over $18,000, you should be doing it. You get your 2019 tax return, you get it, you scan it, you put it in your computer, or you take a picture of it, put it on your phone, and put it into an email. And then you write a very simple email to your unemployment department. Hi, it's me again. I'm getting paid $100 a week, and here's my 2019 tax return. And I made $31,000 last year. I think I may qualify for more weekly benefits or additional weekly benefits. Just simple words like that. Please see if I do. Thank you. And send it off. and then call them the next day, and call them the day after that, and keep on calling them until it's done. If you made $30,000 or more in 2019 and you've been unemployed since February, then you'll likely get a $9,000 hit, bam, right in your account. Then if it's been since if you made $25,000 or more, it'll be about $3,000, bam, right in your account. If it's $5,000, if you made $18,000 or more, it'll probably be about $1,500, bam, right in your account. More about these coming up later today at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Mornings LA. But for now, join me in 30 minutes for the continuation of the show at Early Mornings LA Part 2, in which I detail more about the CARES Act 1 grant and EIDL. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay in LA for more.